Okay, so in this poster you see that we have the Dative Prepositionen, but we're focusing on the ones that take the dative or accusative case depending on the action or inaction of a sentence. So to start off, we know that all German nouns have a gender, which are der, die, das, die, so M, F, N, T in plural, if you're looking them up in a dictionary. We know that the nominative is the subject of a sentence, the accusative is the object. So, for example, I have a pen, I being the nominative and the pen being the thing that you have. If we were to say, I gave my brother the pen, again, we know I being the subject of a sentence, the pen being the accusative, and to whom you give something, you, the receiver, the benefactor of something, is in the dative case, so that would be my brother. In the last video we discussed deutsche Präpositionen mit dem Accusative, mit dem Dative und mit dem Genitiv in isolation. So now we have a set of prepositions that take either the accusative or the dative. You'll see from a small little Venn diagram where it's coloured in red, you have what I call dream prepositions, and I'll explain what these mean. So D or EAM, if you look at the bottom of the poster, D or is for dative rest, E is just there to make up the word, a word in the English language, AM is for accusative motion. So I would call them dream verbs. I used to call them dram verbs, but putting in the E, dream verbs, just makes it easier to remember. Okay, so we know that for the definite article in the accusative case, the daddy dasty goes to den da dasty, so the only change is in the masculine form for da to den, so quite easy to remember. However, with the dative case, the daddy dasty changes to dem da dem den. So with that, we'll just go through the list of the dream verbs. Dative rest, accusative motion verbs. So we have an, which is at or on, up against something. So an der Wand, up against the wall. Auf, which is on, auf, but on a flat surface, so auf dem Boden, on a flat surface. Hinter, behind. In is in or into. Neben is near or next to. Vor is in front of or before. Unter is under or among or amongst, some people would say. Über is over, and zwischen is between. Okay, so we note that if you have an plus dem, like for example am Montag, the an plus dem changes to am. You can have auf plus das goes to aufs. In plus dem is, or in plus dem goes to im. So you have immuni, which would be like in dem uni in juli. And that is because when you're talking about days of the week or months, they take the masculine gender. So the Montag, the Dienstag, the Mittwoch, the Juni, the Juli, in plus der, which is dative rest, goes to im. And then likewise in plus das, ins. Okay, so dream, dative rest, accusative motion. I have wo above dative rest, and I have wohin above accusative motion, because again dative talks about what you're doing in situ at the current time, whether wohin is talking about you're going to a place. Okay, so after the following prepositions, we're looking at the last two sentences on the poster. The accusative case, or the accusative prepositions, is used to show movement to a place. The dative is used to show rest or movement at a place. So the whole idea about the accusative motion is, again, you're moving. Whether the dative is you're at a place or you're resting in an area. So an example in English would be is that if you're either running to the park, if you're playing in the park, sometimes the confusion when you want to talk about you're running to the park versus you're running around the park. Running around the park could be motion, but it's set motion at a specific place. So if in doubt, ask your instructor or consult an authoritative source. So the two examples I have here in the red box, AC for, or sorry, for accusative motion. Läuft in den Park hinein. He runs through the park, versus spielt im Park, which is D or dative rest. And then the other one, the other side of the poster, hängen an die Wand, so it hangs on the wall, and the poster hangt an der Wand. So the act of moving for hanging something, whether the poster is on the Wand and it's staying there, it is in situ. So again, just a little bit of practice needed with these, because some of them can be quite tricky, but not too complicated.